Friends, this was it. The final interview for the dream job. The company was located in a remote industrial zone outside of the city. Let's call it Notanki Nagar. I meticulously planned every single detail except for the biggest one, which is nothing but the transformation. So, set the stakes. I woke up at the 5 a.m., suit pressed, resume printed. I had to be there by 10 a.m. sharp. My future depends on this. I boarded the early morning bus. Everything was fine until the bus driver decided he was also the town's delivery service. He stopped at every single shop and house to drop off parcels. Then the ultimate disaster happens. He stopped to buy 15 kilos of onions and loaded them right next to my seat. The entire bus smells like a giant samosa factory. I couldn't handle it. I jumped off 10 kilometers short. I grabbed the first auto rickshaw I saw. The driver, an uncle with aviator sunglasses, promised me, "Sir, I will fly you there." We started speeding, dodging traffic like a scene from a bad Hollywood movie. But then the rickshaw started sputtering. It turns out Uncle had been running on fumes for the last 3 days. It dies right outside a large field. Time check 9:30 a.m. My interview was in 30 minutes. I was panicking. I looked around widely. Then I saw him and an old farmer trying his goat to at a fence. One goat in particular looked strong and slightly judgmental. I ran to that farmer and completely delirious I asked him, "Uncle, can I rent your goat?" He just stared at me. I offered him all the cash which I had is just 150 rupees. The ride he laughed at me and he ties a rope around the goat and said, "Good luck, sir." Somehow I managed to clamber onto the poor animal. It was the most bumpy, hilarious and terrifying ride of my life. My suit was flapping, my tie was sideways and the goat was making protesting noises that sounded suspiciously like a laughter. I reached the massive corporate building at 9:58 a.m. I literally slid off the goat, handed the rope back to the random person and sprinted inside. I walked into the HR lobby, a sweaty, dish-weared mess smelling faintly of onion and goat. The interviewer looked at me, then at my chaotic state, and just burst out laughing. I explained the situation and guess what? They said they were looking for someone who could solve the problems and handle the chaos. I got the job, so the lesson is never underestimate the power of a determined man and a slightly confused goat, baby.